Hello, introverts and extroverts. I'm sure we all know of the rat, mouse. Sorry, my animation school lingo is coming out. I'm kidding. I have a love-hate relationship with Disney Corporation for reasons I won't get into right now. But what I will get into is to talk about my bad or interesting experiences in the mouse's domain. Disney World, plus Universal, because I also have issues with that theme park. Now, I haven't been to Disney World or Universal since I was 15, and I would really love to go again, but I'm not gonna lie, there's moments from my family vacations that I really hope don't occur again. So let's talk about it. Geez, what incident do I talk about first? Oh, okay. We'll go from least bad to most bad. I think that's a good place to start. So basically, me and my family had reservations at one of the restaurants at Disney World, and we got there a little bit early, and we sat in the lobby waiting for them to call my family up. And they had Mulan playing on one of the TV screens there, so I was watching it and waiting and waiting and waiting. Wait. I'm almost done watching Mulan, and I've been watching since like the start. And the lady at the counter hasn't called our names yet, and our reservation was due like an hour ago, and we've just been like sitting here. Mom, I think they forgot us. They didn't forget us. No. I think they forgot us. They did not. One conversation with the staff later. So yeah, it turns out, Jess, they did indeed forget us. So, they just straight up saw my family of like over 10 people just in their lobby for an hour and just didn't question it. They thought we were just like hanging out in there. I wonder honestly how much longer we would have waited there if I didn't realize that I was almost done watching the entirety of fucking Mulan. But you know, watching Mulan wasn't a bad thing because the staff felt bad enough that they gave us several paper fast passes for whatever rides we wanted. That was a lifesaver, I'll tell you that much. My oldest sister, who's the Disney master, made sure we saved those puppies for the longest line waits, and stuff we didn't already have digital fast pass reservations for. If you didn't know, there's a Fountain of Cinderella in the Magic Kingdom, and I was told as a little 7-year-old that if we threw a coin into it, that our wish would come true. Like 100% without a doubt would happen because it's a wish that was in Cinderella's fountain, and it was really important. Anyways, as a 7-year-old, you'd believe that, right? A wish, huh? Psh, that's baby stuff. What could a refined 7-year-old like me ask for anyways? I wish I could meet Mario in real life. Please, 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 please! He's my hero! Now hold your judgment. I was 7, and my first fictional crush was Mario when I was 4. So it just would have been nice to, just meet my hero, okay? Once our Disney trip ended, and a few months went by, I came to a realization. I hadn't met Mario yet. I didn't know that wishes had like a wait time. I felt like I sort of just wasted my wish when I could have, wished for something more practical, like money. So like any normal child, I cried about it. Jess, what's wrong? Mario will never love me. I told my dad that Disney was scamming me by not granting my wish to meet Mario. They were withholding my dream from me! My dad, clanking his brain cells together, came up with a brilliant plan. Hello, is this Mr. Walt Disney himself? Yes, I'm calling concerning the fact that you have not fulfilled my child's wish. Yes, she's very upset. Yes, of course, thank you, the Walt Disney. So, Walt Disney will give you a wish refund next time that we go. But what if we never go back? Yeah, I don't think I ever got my refund. What I did get, however, was my parents divorcing not long after that Disney trip. That's so fun! Do you, like, always use humor to cope? Yeah? I don't think that's very healthy. Sock, if I didn't laugh, I would cry. Look, I don't go into your little laundry house with your little sock wife and tell you how to rearrange your tiny little furniture, okay? Okay, I see your point. Now, a fact that most of you don't know about me is that I have very sensitive skin, but what I also have is that I'm predisposed to having a pretty common skin infection called Tiana versicolor, which is very treatable. However, it took several years for anyone to tell me what it actually was. Nowadays, I'm working on treating it, but obviously, letting it grow on my body over the last several years has made it so that not all of it is gone quite yet. But I'm getting there. Basically, how this skin condition has affected my life is that when I am in contact with the sun, or just heat or humidity in general, I feel like I am being boiled alive. And I think you guys can see where I am heading with this. So this was the last trip I took to Disney, so I was about 15, and this was like the first time that I noticed that this skin condition was actually causing problems for me. What's notable is that this was our only Disney trip that we took during summer, so that was probably part of the problem. And I actually even brought shorts and t-shirts despite being incredibly insecure because, you know, it was hot out. Big mistake. I'm telling you, my skin was actually like blood red in the areas where my skin had Tiana versicolor. I'm pretty sure that the American people just thought that I was some kind of infected zombie. And I was in excruciating pain. Like, every step, every movement just felt like I was laying down in hot sand, unable to get up, every grain burning as it scratches against your skin. It got so bad that I even found out that Disney has an emergency clinic. How can I help you today? My skin is burning. I'm sure it's not that bad. Oh my goodness! So they gave me like these little cooling gel packets. The problem is that they only relieved my pain for mere moments before continuing to burn once more. And when I came outside of the emergency clinic, my face just covered in tears, my arms and legs still blood red. A Starbucks employee gave me a free large ice water because she could see that I was having a hard time. I remember us going into the Carousel of Progress for the first time, mind you, and my mom putting the gel on me as I silently cried, and I could like barely move my limbs anymore at that point from the pain. Like, sure, Disney had nothing to do with my skin condition, but it still happened there, and next time I go to Disney, I will make damn well sure it's during winter time. I literally remember my legs remaining blood red for like weeks afterwards, because they were still bright red when I went back to high school that fall. Now, I can finally talk about Universal, and buckle up because I debated making Universal its own video. I'm sure Universal is lovely. They have those cool new areas that just came out that I really want to go to, but I've only gone to Universal one day in my entire life, and I think that most of my family agrees that it was the worst theme park experience we've ever had. So again, this is the trip from when I was 15, so keep in mind I was burning alive this whole time. We planned to stay in Florida for like 10-ish days. 9 of those days were for Disney, and one day we were going to go to Universal. Because why not? We've never been to Universal, so we thought it would be a grand old time. We go in, and I see a 4D Shrek ride. And I like Shrek! So me, my youngest sister, my second oldest sister, and my stepsister waited in line. Damn, I have a lot of sisters. The rest of my family didn't want to join us, so they stuck behind to look at the shops. Unfortunately for my sorry ass, the line was outside, and as I explained, this trip was the one that triggered my skin to the extreme. And I was very visibly uncomfortable out there, and I'm pretty sure everyone in that line could notice. I was basically like a vampire, hiding behind every sliver of shade that my fat ass could get behind. 2 hours. That line was a 2-hour wait in the blistering hot Florida sun. So yeah, not off to a great start for me. But we're in here, and I love Shrek. They gave us a little video basically explaining the ride before letting us in, and I thought it was going to be a little unique Shrek short film just for this ride, right? Right? Wrong. It's the same Shrek short film that I've seen a million times as a kid, Ghost of Farquaad. There was nothing, as far as I could see, indicating that this was the same short film that was out since 2003. Like, look at that sign! Had I known it was goddamn Ghost of Farquaad, I wouldn't have waited 2 hours, burning alive, just to watch a short that's less than 15 minutes that I've already seen in just slightly shaky chairs in 3D glasses. Now, since I got a picture of the sign, I've learned that this ride is now closed. Shrek, I love you, but absolutely fuck that ride. If you enjoyed it, I get it. Like, if you never saw that short film before in your life, and you went to see it, I get why you would like it, but considering how much pain I went through to not even enjoy the actual ride was a huge ass bummer, and several hours wasted. Let's see how many more hours we can waste today. So, the family members who didn't wait in line with us were kinda ticked off that it took so long, but I mean, we were pissed off too. Join the fucking club. We were like, fine. Let's just go to the Harry Potter area. That's why we decided to go to Universal for one day in the first place. My older sisters love Harry Potter, and I only saw the first movie before going to Universal, so it didn't really bother me. But, however, what I wanted more than anything was a Harry Potter wand. More specifically, the wands that they advertised worked in the park. Like, that would be so cool, getting to spin your wand around and activate stuff. Totally makes up for never meeting Mario when I was 7. Well, after waiting in line and, like, spending $100, I got my wand. I got Snape's wand because I thought his wand was rad as hell. The instructions seemed pretty easy to follow, however... Oh, maybe I didn't... Why don't you work? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. What the fuck? Please move. Is this just the fucking sword in the stone at Disney World? Like, you need a specific person to, like, wave the wand around for shit to work? I paid, like, an extra $30 to get this thing to work in the park, and I can't even do anything with it? As you can see, I was reasonably frustrated because I already get irritated in the heat because of my skin condition, and I wanted this wand for so long, and I can't even figure out how to use it even though I'm following the instructions to a T. People are, like, starting to stare at the 15-year-old who looks like an adult, getting visibly frustrated at the fact that they couldn't get the expensive piece of plastic to work. And I start feeling embarrassed. Alright, Jess, we gotta move on. We haven't gone on an actual ride all day, and we can't just stand here. No, I've been waiting to have this wand since they announced it. I need, like, just to activate one thing. We are not crying, do you hear me? I spent a lot of money for this trip, and you're not going to embarrass me with your tears. We're not leaving this spot until you smile. Do you hear me? Good. Let's go somewhere else. We headed to some kind of Harry Potter train ride because my older sisters wanted to go on it, and it was an attraction that all of us agreed to go on. But I was still kind of upsetty spaghetti that I couldn't use my wand, and it was getting on everyone's nerves. But the thing is, I wasn't even doing anything, just quietly sulking like upset teenagers normally do. But in their defense, I guess if you're having a shitty day but pretending to have a good time, the last thing you want is visibly seeing how your shitty day is also shitty for someone else and they just don't have the energy to also pretend that they're having a good time, because remember, I was in pain. It's kind of hard to hide how you're feeling under those circumstances. So in that very long line, I get scolded a few more times, so that was fun. Actually, you know what could have helped? My therapist has been teaching me this thing to just gaslight myself. Not actually, but hear me out. She told me I should just envision what I wish was done in order to make me feel better, to think about what my inner self actually needed in that moment. And I think instead of scolding me and making my mood worse, what would have helped was just to have a pretend moment of me using my wand, like, oh, look at that, you're moving my arm. You know, something stupid that a young teen would find endearing, even if they pretend to hate it. You know, seeing their family actually try to make them feel better instead of acting like they're the problem all day. But you know, that's not what happened, so let's stop living in fantasy land. We're waiting in that line for like 2.5 hours. Why are the lines at Universal so goddamn long? Okay, so we're basically where I can actually see the fucking ride now. That's good. I think we're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the second group of people that will actually be able to get on. Finally! Over 2 hours of waiting. I can finally see what all the hype is about. Who knows? Maybe having some fun will have them stop being mad at me. There it is! And after that, it'll be our turn. I think God is testing my patience today.
Attention all Hogwarts students. The train is temporarily shut down due to a safety risk.
You gotta be fucking kidding me! We can probably just wait it out. I've wanted to go on this ride since we planned this trip. I don't know, can we? Why don't we just ask the fucking disembodied voice?
The estimated wait time for the fix is 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I'm out. Yeah, that's what I figured. We decided to get something to eat, but Jesus Christ, the tension was so apparent you could cut it with fucking safety scissors. I thought maybe I could salvage this by using my wand, but where we chose to eat lunch was nowhere near the Harry Potter area, which at the time, I don't know if that's changed, you couldn't use the wand anywhere else outside of the Harry Potter zone. Damn, really could have used that $30. At this point, it's almost time that we needed to head back to Disney so we can make our dinner reservations. We mostly wandered around trying to find a single goddamn attraction that wouldn't take hours to even get on. Once again, need I remind you that every movement was extremely painful for me. So we thought, fuck it, let's just go. The entire day wasted for only one ride that only 1/3 of my family went on. Jeez, Jess, can you stop having an attitude? It's really not helping. My attitude isn't even that bad right now. I'm sorry if I couldn't find anything to smile about today, because I'm in pain and couldn't even do the one thing I've been dying to try here, which was this stupid fucking wand. I wouldn't have even bought this thing had I known I wasn't able to use it. Girls, no arguing. Is there any wand stuff you can do quickly in this area before we leave? No, because there's only 12 places where you can use this wand, and they're all at the other end of the park. I wouldn't have spent all my vacation money on this had I known I wouldn't have been able to use it at all. I wish we didn't even come here. So selfish. You're making Mom cry. Barely any of you seem to care when I spent the last days crying in pain. Thanks for coming to Universal. Would you like to rate your day? No. Okay. Hello, thanks for coming to Universal. Would you guys like to rate your day? Trust me, you don't want my review. Honestly, once we got back to Disney and had our dinner, everything felt okay again. The tension was gone, we were laughing. Since it was dark out, my pain went away temporarily for the night, so it was like everything that was bad about the day just faded away. Like, sure, my family isn't perfect by any means, but it's still my family, and I do care about them. But fuck Universal! I'd be willing to try again just for that Nintendo World, but as of now, that's one of the last places I'd ever want to be, especially because it's summertime right now. Now here's the part in the video where I plug my stuff, so if you guys liked it, give it a like, subscribe for more, and leave a comment of your own theme park experiences, the good, the bad, whatever, I want to hear about it. My links are in the description, and if you want to support me in the financial variety, consider supporting me on Ko-Fi or becoming a YouTube member. While the credits are rolling here, I just want to warn you guys that with all of you here, as happy as I am to have you, it's gotten a bit harder for me to read every single comment now. So I will still do my best to try and read everything, but with the sheer amount, it's just, I'm sorry if I can't get to everyone, okay? I always appreciate you guys, and I figured it would be best if I told you instead of you guys being like, damn, why doesn't Jess like comments in troves anymore? You know? And with that, stay safe and stay tuned for more. See ya!